welcome to the Next Generation Tour Northwest Final 9.
Yeah, that's right!
Yeah! As we mentioned, we'll be playing a mixture course that starts here, works its way over to the runway holes, plays the Philo Tross, comes off the mountain and finishes up the west course, finishing right here on 18. You guys know the holes?
What's up, guys? This is Zach Fortuna, and we are here in the Northwest for the first premier event in Oregon. We are at Milo McIver Park. We are on the west course today for the final 9 of these group of people.
5 over par. Making the final 9 today, pushing the only night out. Let's get a big hand for Mr. Matthew Hill.
And honestly, this is quite a feat for everybody on this card to make it this far into the event. This is obviously not the championships, but they are all competing for that spot. So they're out there kind of beating up on this course and doing all they can to
Team
get
second,
that
playing out of
trip
Tualatin, Oregon,
and win one of the
at
biggest
1 over par.
Prizes out there that
very
you can
much
in
in the hunt to go to Arizona.
So this is honestly really
Mr.
a really exciting time.
That's my boy right there.
Dave and everybody at the Next Gen are just doing a killer job. The last couple of years has been great, and it's just been growing exponentially. So I'm actually pretty jealous that these guys are actually out playing this beautiful course, but this is going to be a good time, a good watch, and we're going to see how these guys attack this course and how they fare compared to everybody, how they know how the top pros play this course.
Ready. Miss it.
All right, so we are starting on hole 1. This hole is a par 4 at 630 feet, so
at 1 under par.
To have a really good drive right up the gut, basically as far
Next
as you can
Generation
down
Tour.
the
He's
fairway,
been to Arizona. He's seen it. He's coming back. He wants a chance at the car.
You have
he was
OB
close
all
last
along
year to
the
making
left
the
side
finals.
with the road.
Let's welcome from Spokane, Washington. One heck of a guy. He helps out with
and
NG.
Then you got to have
Jace
a really good placement.
Foster.
It's downhill. It's pretty tight. And so far. And next up, we have Jace Foster. As Dave said, he's helped out with a lot of these events, and he's got a chance at playing and competing in the national championships here. So it looks like this was another pretty decent line. Kind of turned over a little bit on him, but I believe he's going to have a pretty open second shot to try to attack
Salem,
the green.
Oregon. Currently sitting in the spot to go to Arizona, Mr. Bryan Van Fleet.
Yeah, Van Fleet! That's right!
This guy seems to be another local favorite. He's got a couple buddies out there in the crowd cheering for him. Make sure to have a clean tee pad. Always need a clean tee pad. It's always frustrating slipping. Let's see what he can do. Another one looks like it's straight down the fairway. It's kind of hard to tell where it's finishing, but it doesn't turn over all the way like Jace's did. It looks like he got a pretty good distance out there.
At 5 under par.
And then
he's already won a trip to Arizona. He's going no matter what.
Apparently.
Last year he baited in the top 30 and he was trying. This year he's improved his game. We think he's got a shot at the true final in Arizona. I want a big welcome for guaranteed to be your distance champion today, Mr. from Shelton, Washington, Quinn Rodius.
Seems to be the prime pick out of the grouping here. Again, I'm sure all these guys are great players, but he's got high hopes for this guy here. Let's see what this guy can do for the final 9. Obviously, he's doing very well if he's the lead on the card. Looks like he pulled that one a little right, hit the tree, but he's going to have a kind of a tricky upshot, it looks like, but it looks like he gets through everything and is going to have a really good third shot to try to get up to the pin. And then Nick just having a nice little sidearm up there. And Matt here is actually a pretty quick player. So capturing all these shots are kind of difficult. He knows what he wants to throw, and he's just up there ready to throw. So that's actually pretty cool to see. There's a few other people on tour that do exactly just that, and it works out just well for them. And a couple more layups. And then here's Quinn with a mashed sidearm. It's a little hard to see with that tree on the left side, but as you can see, finish there. He's on the putting green. And I'm excited to see where that actually ends up. So that was a great recovery shot from him. And then we got Bryan here. Looks like a pretty prime spot to be. Has a straight look at the basket. And he clears it. So he's going to be putting for 3 from there. It's actually another great shot from the group here. As one would expect with the final 5 players for the final 9. Nick with a nice little hyzer flip up to the bucket.
Yeah.
And then Jace also with another straight shot. Seemed a little low, but we're going to see where everybody ends up here in just a moment. And then Matt's 3rd shot. Clips that vine a little bit, but unfortunately we don't get to really see where it finished up. But he's actually a little past the basket, as you can see there. Everybody here is going to be putting from either circle's edge or just inside. That was a great putt there from Bryan. And then next up we have Matt. Also a very quick putter, but he's also very good, very smooth, very methodical. And then Quinn with a great 3rd shot. And then sneaks it over with a great par save there on hole 1. And then finally we have Nick here. Also, he likes taking his time on everything, makes sure that he's well concentrated on the shot that he wants to execute and is committed to it. So I can respect that. He's very smooth in everything that he does. And then we got Jace just tapping out here. So great way for everyone to play that hole. Great few recovery shots, but we do have the only birdie 3 from Bryan with everybody else taking a 4. And then next up, we are going to be jumping over to hole 7, which is 587 feet, and it is a par 4. It is pretty wide open with I believe it's a peninsula green. It's kind of hard to say. I know there is OB right with a parking lot on the left, which both play OB. And then Quinn just mashes a hyzer out there. Next up, we have Jace. I would imagine, yeah, he's going to be doing the same hyzer flip. Finishing left, asking it for it to sit. But it looks like it has gone OB. Just barely, though. We're gonna find out as soon as we get up there. And then we have Nick doing the exact same things. I feel like it's going to be the same from everybody here. Going to be throwing a hyzer flip, trying to get down the fairway for a good placement shot. This is not a very attackable fairway to get to the bucket. And then same thing here with Matthew. Getting a little bit of a flare there, but he's going to be sitting just fine. So here is Jace. Throwing down the right side, trying to lay it flat. Actually, wall rides up the tree and rolls out towards the bucket. So he's going to have a long look. Bryan also just throwing smooth up the gut. Hits and slides up to the bucket real nice. He's going to be sitting pretty for his putt. Nick's going to go with the sidearm. Crazy flex on it, but he flexes out. Looks like he gets the skip towards the bucket as well. And then we have Matthew here throwing his up shot. Looks like a putter. Also just right at the bucket. And then Quinn going with a super blade hyzer and splashes right through it. Dude, that would have been sick if that actually would have stayed in. But, I mean, you can't ask for much more than that. I mean, you could ask for it to stay, but he still ended up right by the bucket, which is great. And here's a big look from Jace here, just off the front of the cage. Matt's in. That's a great 3 from Matt. And then we got Nick. I would imagine that this is going to go in. Everybody from here on out is very close to the bucket. I would imagine everyone's going to be making their putts and making it look real easy. As I said, he wants to be sure. If it works for him, he's the same every single time. It's going to be very consistent. And then everybody else is just going to be tapping in here, as you can see. Nice little bug on the lens there. Hey, bug. And then Bryan is in. He was under the bucket. That was a great upshot. So everybody's going to be taking 3s on that hole. Jace is unfortunately going to be taking the only 5. And then we are on to hole 8. It is a par 3 at 485 feet. So it is a pretty difficult par 3. Everybody is going to be playing for the safe shot. I would imagine it's going to be the same as the last hole. Everyone's going to probably throw their distance, hyzer flip type disc, down the right side and finishing left so they can have a pretty easy upshot up to the green. As you see, Bryan and Quinn has already done that. And then next up is Nick, following the same line. A little more turned over than the other two guys, but he's going to be just fine. And then Matthew just a little bit early, but he does look like he gets past that bush a little bit. We're going to see where he ends up here in just a moment. And then Jace gets that a little turned over, but seems to be fortunate to have hit that tree because it looked like it was actually going to be going out of bounds. And then this shot here looked like he was playing that low. Looks like it stayed in. Trying to play that road skip to get up to the island. It looks like it stayed in. That's a good clap. And then here's where Matthew ended up. Kind of a cool little spot, but not the most fun to be throwing from. Because he's going to be short, and now he has to actually get up to the bucket. Which he does very nicely. And then Bryan from a little bit closer. I imagine he'd be throwing, basically a jump throw putt, whatever you want to call that there. Works out just fine. He's a little worrisome as you see him shake his head there. And then we have a jump putt from Quinn from like 1,000,000 feet away or so, but he's under the bucket. Hey, if you can jump putt from there, that's a really good ability to have, to be able to just throw up shots very controlled. And the same thing with Nick. That same pink putter that he likes to throw and take his time with. He's very accurate with that. And then Matt's going to be tapping in here. And then everybody else is either under the bucket or well within 10 feet. As you can see, everybody else just surrounding that basket. Yeah, Bryan is in. I would imagine Jace is going to be in here as well. Very nice. Very firm. Very confident. I like that. And then the last two guys, I'm just going to be dropping it in. Just slam dunk that last putt. Alright, so we got Matt with the only 4. Everybody else is taking a 3 on that hole. And then next up, we have hole 6. This is now dubbed the Philo Tross hole. It is the par 5 that Philo obviously threw into one of the most nastiest, disgusting shots ever to be seen. Great job, Philo. And and then we're going to see if any of these guys can do that. Honestly, if anyone does, that would be amazing. This hole is one of the nastiest par 5s on this course, I would say. Having only seen it, not played it, but one of, honestly, the most picturesque and beautiful holes. Like, this is one of the holes that I think of when I think of Beaver State Fling. This is one of the holes that I imagine. So we got everyone throwing a pretty picture-perfect tee shot. Jace there, getting a little flare at the very end. And then we got Matt here. Looked like he tried unloading it, trying to get a little more distance down that fairway. Finishing off to the left a bit. Let's see what everyone can do on their second shot. We got Bryan here, trying to lace the gap. It's going to be a little hard to see. I think he's going to be a little short, but that is a great shot nonetheless. And then we got Nick going with a sidearm with that same orange disc with the super flex on it. Trying to get to the right a little bit to get a better angle at that bucket. And then Jace looks like he's going with a mid-range up the gut. It's hard to tell. I think that's a little left. But not having played this hole, it's going to be a little hard to tell. We're going to be seeing where he's throwing from. And then we got Quinn from a knee going with a sidearm. I'd imagine this is not what he wants to be doing off that tee box. But I think about right where those people are at, that's an alright spot to try to, you can at least see the basket. And then Matt, unfortunately, just kind of throws it into the ground. Didn't really give it a chance to get anywhere. And here's a little bit of weird footing from Nick. But he does get around the corner. And then Quinn again with another jump putt approach. A little hard to see, but he's going to be putting. And then Bryan's going to be going spike hyzer up and over. And he does go a little long, but he's going to be putting as well. And then we have Jace here going with a skip shot. I do like that a lot. I'd like throwing skip shots on approaches like that. But he's going to be about the same distance as Bryan. So let's see if he can capitalize on this putt. And man, that was a really good putt, honestly, but it just kind of trickled out on him. I don't know how everybody else feels about these baskets, but out of the baskets that everybody kind of has gripes with, this is the one that I like the most. I like the band, I like the look of it. I just think it needs to be updated. And then we have Bryan just sneaking that one in over the lip. That one was maybe a little questionable. He's kind of giving the basket a little look there, but hey man, in is in. And same with Matt there. Very smooth, a little high, but he made it. Me personally, I like his putt. It's kind of a little floaty, lofty, but super smooth, really clean. And then Nick here just kind of floating that one in as well. And then Quinn is right next to him. And I would imagine he's going to be just tapping this one in as well. He will not be tapping this one in. He'll tap in the next one. That's really unfortunate, but again, this is just a final 9. So everybody's gonna be taking a 4 except for Jace and Quinn, who both take 5s. But anyways, we are on to hole 14, another long par 3 at 442 feet, but it is slightly downhill. But they are gonna have to contend with a gap that's fairly tight off the fairway, but I would imagine everybody on this card is going to be hitting that gap. Being on the lead card, the best of the best for this tournament. They got here somehow. It definitely was not sheer luck. All right, and then he is going with the orange. I'm going to guess maybe Destroyer or Boss or Gladiator, something like that. Something that's pretty overstable, that's good for sidearms. And then Matt kind of trickles off to the left a little bit. It's going to be kind of a difficult shot from... an approach shot from over there, I would imagine. And then Jace with a great shot that turns unfortunate. He kind of clips that, I don't know, it's like a tree, branch, something. It's a little hard to tell, but he kicks him off to the left. But he is still out in the open, so he gets to throw a big spiking hyzer at the bucket. Does go a little long, but he will have a putt, I would imagine. At least to look at it. And then Nick also going with the pink putter. Hyzer approach, a little short, but well within the circle. And then that's where Matt ended up, a little short, but actually not that cumbersome. It was still wide open, probably not the best footing, definitely not where he was imagining himself being. And then Quinn with another 500-foot putt approach. Can't talk, but he's gonna be putting for 3 from wide open. And then Bryan with a huge putt right there. That is going to be, it is now going to be his tee pad. Which, I mean, it already was his tee pad. It's his tee pad even more so now. And Jace, unfortunately, he did go long, and he had the lowest hanging branch, or tree, apparently, blocking his way. Matt with another smooth putt. That was a great save from where his drive ended up initially. And then Quinn, I'd imagine he's going to be making this for sure after the little misfire on the previous hole. Yeah, that one was super smooth. Took his time a little more. Definitely made sure he was concentrating, and he just nailed it dead center. Little fist bump action there. Like that. And then we got Nick here. Again, I would imagine this one's in. Nice little soft right into the chains. Beautiful putt. And then Jace to tap in his 4. And we are going to be moving on to the next hole, which is going to be hole 15. We're going to be finishing out the normal layout. We're going to go 15, 16, 17, 18. So Bryan is next up, or first up, again, as I said. It's going to be a par 3 at 390 feet. And that one is just a little low. Definitely not the happiest with that, but there's going to be a chance to make up with a great second shot. And then we have Matt here at the height that Bryan looked like he wanted to throw his shot, taking off the shades to make sure it was a good shot. I don't think he wanted that either. I think he might have wanted that a little higher. I'm not sure. And then Quinn's going to be going with a mashed sidearm. I'm not sure what he's throwing, but it looked like a real flat disc that he really, really trusts. And not the happiest with that. He wanted a little more action off the ground, I think. And then Nick, right up the gut. Hard to tell if he likes that one or not. Honestly, I personally really liked it. I think it was a great shot, but we're going to find out. And then Jace, just a little tight, but again, getting that little bit of tree love. Kind of pops him out to the right a little bit, but definitely not the worst. What is the worst is accidentally trying to hit like one of the smallest gaps and then nailing one of the trees. So he's going to have to be playing a really nice upshot, which he does here. It is a little short, but that was a beautiful upshot. Kind of wondering what might have happened there. And Matt with a nice little smooth approach with that same putter. He's going to be right under the bucket, it looks like. And then we have Jace. Kind of a cool little like air bounce type looking shot with maybe a harp there. But he's going to be in the circle. Quinn with his patent pending long, crazy long shot putt thing. He's going to be under the bucket, right underneath one of the putters there. And then Bryan makes a really good recovery shot. Obviously, someone calls him out on it. They really liked it. He acknowledged it. Everybody else is going to be tapping out here, I would imagine. Quinn with he smoothed out his putting stroke ever since that one hole, it looks like. Jace tapping in. Same thing with Matt.
Thank you.
And then Nick to follow. There he is. Nice putt, Nick. Bravo. Good form. All right, so now Bryan is going to be going from birdie to bogey, and everybody else threes that hole, so he's going to be going to the back of the bus, as they say in the disc golf world. So Nick is up first here on hole 16. It is a par 3, and it is only 250 feet. So it's going to be one of the easier par 3s on this course, aside from all the crazy other ones that are about 500 feet, also as a par 3. Matt here. Looked like a really good shot. Just kind of got shut down by one of the branches on the tree. Quinn is up next. It looks like he's throwing a rhino maybe. He throws that one real hard and a little left, I want to say. I don't think he wanted to go that far left. Then we have Jace here. Looks like a mid-range. That's going to be the line that I think I'd want to throw on this hole. I don't know. Somebody said good shot, so I'm going to go with it was a good shot. We're going to find out here. And then that one from Bryan is pulled a little wide. Well, maybe there's a backdoor entrance to the hole up there. We're going to go find out. So Matt ended up a little long. Trying to give that one maybe a little bit of a bid. But he's going to be under there securing that 3 on this hole. And then Quinn was a little left, it looks like. But so close. You can tell that he really wanted that one. And that was a really good looking putt. Then we got Nick. Super floatery putt. I really like it. He really likes it. That's a great 2. Then who do we got next? We have Jace. Jace is up next. Again, with a really good drive, but an unfortunate low putt right there. Just trying to roll away from him, but he's still going to be closer than his original putt. I would imagine he's going to make this one. It's tough sometimes to let those birdie putts get missed, and then you get frustrated, and then you miss the following one, and you easily turn it from a birdie to bogey. So I'm glad that he did not do that there. It was a good par. Same thing with Matt. And then there is Bryan with a 3. And then same thing for Quinn. So we have just 1, 2 from Nick. Everybody else is taking 3s. We are now onto hole 17. Another par 3 at 381 feet. Another very pretty hole. Fairly wide open, but surrounded by trees on the left and right side of the fairway. And Matt just cranking that one over, and it flexes out real fast on him. Hopefully it doesn't flare off too much. It looks like it kind of did, but he's definitely going to have a look at it. This is probably one of the hardest holes to kind of get out here, because if you're trying to throw straight at it, you're throwing the hardest shot in disc golf, which is the straight shot. And then we got Jace going with the hyzer flip. Gets turned over a little bit, panning out, so it's going to land flat. But I think it just came up a little short. And then last up we have Bryan. Also doing the same thing as Jace's shot, but is a little high. Asking for it to go left, but he's going to have a little bit of a longer approach than he wanted, I would imagine. Going with a sidearm. Somebody asked for a one time. But it was a little wide. Sure, it was looking really good. He's going to have a putt for 3. Quinn with a 8,000-foot jump putt. Going to put himself well within the circle. And then Jace is up next here. Let's see if he can give this a bid.
Get it!
It's super high and lofty, but man, I think it just barely tickled the chains. That would have been a really cool putt to see go in. Then next up we have Matt. Super smooth, just a little high. And then the last chance for a birdie here from the group is Nick. Let's see if he can float this one right in. And he sure does. I think it's great. Like, it barely moves the chains almost, I feel like. But if you can do it just right, as he's showing here, it's going to work for you. It doesn't matter how you putt, as long as you can figure out your putt to get it to work for you, and you'll win tournaments. And he's doing that right now. And Bryan, unfortunately, leaves that one a little bit low. And then Quinn is there to make his 3. It shows it's all about putting. It really is. Driving, obviously, but the biggest part is putting. So everybody on 17, we're going to have a 2 from Nick, a 4 from Bryan, and everybody else is going to be taking a par 3 and moving on to the final hole. Another par 3, but it is 509 feet. Which is a long, long par 3 in my opinion. We're going to see what these guys can do. Matt is trying to get over on it a little bit, trying to get a little more distance out of the disc. Trying to bite off as much as he can down the fairway. And surprising to see Quinn going with a sidearm, but maybe he throws further sidearm than backhand, or maybe it's about the same, so he just maybe wants the disc to finish to the right and maybe get a little skip. Because that looked like a mass shot. Hopefully it skipped on him. It was hard to tell with the video footage. And then Jace is going roller. Me personally, I like rollers on shots like this. But it's also sometimes really hard to control where they go, as you kind of see that one kind of maybe peel off to the left a little bit. And then Bryan going with the simple, straight up the gut shot. Flares off a little bit, but not too bad. As you can see, he's got a pretty easy upshot. Nice little sidearm. It's going to skip for him a little bit, I'm sure. And then he's going to be well within the circle to get that 3. And then Matt up next. A little turnover to straight shot with that putter, which he's been doing so well so far. Next up is Jace. It looks like that same white putter that he's been throwing all of his approaches with. I really want to say that's a harp or something, but man, that was a really close shot. That was a very nice shot. A little long. And then Nick going with that same whatever orange high-speed driver disc that is. I wish I knew what that was, but he was doing that very well. And then next up we have Quinn. I would say this one's about 8,005 feet. And he makes that. For the final hole, he finally nails the long putt. That's awesome. Cameraman's going to run this down with him. As he should, because that was a sick shot. Really, really cool. And that's almost like an eagle, I'd say. On a par 5 that bends that much to the right, or par 5, a par 3 at 500 feet that bends that much to the right. That's a huge, huge 2. And then everybody else just going to be tapping in. Again, this has nothing to do with placement in the tournament. All the placement is already done. Everybody's already... This is going to be for the Northwest standings overall. So the top 5 for the Northwest, this adds to their standings in that. All right, and then next up is Nick. As you can see, he's putting with an AVR. A JK AVR? Maybe a KC AVR? One of those AVRs. Very nice putt.
Thanks, man. Congratulations.
Nice camaraderie from the boys there. That's awesome. You always gotta love that. It's a great sport. I know you're playing by yourself. You're essentially playing for yourself against everybody, but you're all there for the same reason. You're all there for the love of the game, and seeing that type of camaraderie is awesome. So here we got the scorekeepers. So they don't have to do it themselves. They don't have to worry about the stress of keeping score for everybody. He's going to do it for everyone. And as you can see, for the final scoring for them for the tournament, you have Quinn Rodius at -6, Bryan Van Fleet -2, Jace Foster +2, Nick Skaale -2, and then Matt Hill at +5. So I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and sticking there with me for the final 9. I thought it was super exciting. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed it and really liked the coverage, because there are going to be a multitude of other ones. There are 8 regions where this is going to be covered for the Next Generation Tour premier events leading up to the national championships. And we are also going to be having qualifying events from Australia and Europe, which are happening very soon. So be on the lookout for those. If you're living in those areas, maybe look out for trying to qualify if that is in your area, because it's super cool for being able to have qualifying events across seas.
Hi, my name's Quinn. I'm from Shelton, Washington, and I really love the Next Gen Tour. It's amazing. I came last year and played good at Fountain Hills, and it was really, really fun. Funnest thing I've ever done. Funnest
Quinn, we love you!
I've ever been in. So, yeah, I loved it. So, it's awesome.
Good work.
Thanks.
My name is Jace Foster. I'm from Spokane, Washington. The Next Gen Tour, I think, is a great gateway for amateurs to start progressing towards their professional careers, or if they just want to move up into the next division. It's been great for me, and hopefully going to move up at some point.
Hello, my name is Bryan Van Fleet, PDGA number 56167 from Salem, Oregon. I'm playing for a little bit, and this Next Gen is pretty amazing. It gives the opportunity for people like me who are on the cusp of moving up a chance to be able to do something special. So I really like what this has done and the opportunity it gives everybody. So thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Nick Skaale, and I'm from Tualatin, Oregon. And the Next Gen has been a great experience, and I'm really thankful to have been a part of it.
All right, everybody, welcome to the distance final. What we're going to do is, rules on the distance is we're just looking for the guy who can throw it the furthest. They'll get 3 throws each, 1 at a time. The second, third, and fourth will tie for the consolation prize if it's like 2 discs and a keen card or something. That's not bad. The winner gets a $60 from my store and a keen card. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. The first time through, you guys will throw in reverse order of qualification, which you know that.
Yeah, it was Michael, Quinn, me.
Okay. So
that was the normal order.
Yeah, normal order. Okay. And then in the first round, we're gonna let Matthew Hill, who took 5th, show off for the camera too. He gets to throw 1 throw with you guys, just to show off his skills, because he was very close, right? Very close. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right, team first. Everybody, let's give it up for whole team.
Yeah!
Distance Northwest defending distance champion, Quinn Rodius.
Michael Robinson. Right, Michael! Yeah!
That was a blister throw, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
All right, Quinn. It's 4-2 to Quinn. Stop hiding, dude. Tie for second. All right. We will go in the order of qualification, which I believe was first, second, third.
We were tied.
Sixes.
Yep.
Okay. Flip it right now.
Ooh, called in the air.
You get choice.
Heads.
Yeah. Choice. Okay. First, what you want?
Bryan can go.
You want first? All right. Here's how it's gonna work. Don't go back to your seats. The three of you are together.
Oh man.
Elimination style.
I believe the course starts right there, and you guys will be allowed one miss each, and after you've missed one time throughout the whole game, it's over. So you have to progress. If you don't get one miss per station, you get one miss for the game.
Okay.
So if you miss the first one to make it, you go on, and you miss the first one for the next station, you're out.
Got it.
It's progression.
Okay.
You know
Call
the
me
order.
or you?
It's not you, buddy. Right. I just wanted to be a nice guy and let you go first.
No, you are a nice guy.
All right, you're good.
I like tap-ins.
Nice putt. This is a tap-in for you.
All right.
Gotta have that gorilla apex. That's not a tap-in. My knees are knocking.
All right,
There you
go.
go.
Back it up. Back.
Keep doing that. We missed.
Oh, yeah.
It's so easy being pleasy.
He's having a good day.
It's not easy being me. You do not want my life.
There you go, Matt.
Sorry. You were like lining it up. I wasn't sure. No, I'm fine.
Early working. I forgot to mention to you guys that Stott is the first person in the history of Next Generation Tour to have a perfect qualification round.
Yeah.
All right, move to station 3.
No pressure.
No pressure to do it again, man.
You take it right now to advance. You gotta make it to advance. Stays in the game. He's on sudden death.
I love the nubs, man.
I know you
Those nubs been saving my life.
Oh, he's still in. They're both on sudden death. Stodd can put the move on. In command. All right, station 4. 2 on sudden death.
Is this one outside or this one?
Leader is leading.
This one is not. That one is.
There's
only 7 and 8. That's how I played it.
6 is. I want 5 is close. Nope.
Let's give a big hand for Mr. Van Fleet. He had a great game. Time for second. All right, but the rule is that he has to make it in one of these 2 putts to claim the title, or they go back to the station. Cannot win with a miss. Chance has 2 chances to be the champion. Here it is.